All right. So, is there any? Balloonosaurus Rex is up. Oh, dude, this is gonna be a lit episode, dude. We get to do freaking Balloonarius. So we have this here by the H. This is the H3 podcast. This is the one titled "Brendan Schwab Responds." Fresh and Fit guest calls in to expose them, etc., etc. We're gonna watch the segment for Fresh and Fit, the Fresh and Fit call-in segment on this podcast. Apparently, there's some allegations against one of the Fresh and Fits. It's the Fit. It's Myron, I think, right? It's Myron. It's Myron. It's the shorter one here. So apparently somebody called in to expose them. I'm kind of curious about the allegations. People have been asking me for a couple days. I've been a little busy in general. I lost internet yesterday. Blah 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 blah. Nobody cares. Okay, cry me a river, Papa God. Anyway, let's get this going.
Background there, but who we have calling in today is this really interesting woman.
What makes her interesting?
Who was one of these guests on the panels. She appeared on the January 22nd episode called "Can a Man or Woman Have a Side Piece?" Great discussion. She was 19.
Is it called Great Discussion? It probably wasn't a very good discussion. But okay.
At the time, she was invited onto the podcast.
She was 19, okay.
And she didn't know who they were. At the time she was on the podcast, she was 19.
I mean, that makes sense because they try to go after women who, no offense, don't really know what they're talking about. But that's their MO. That's their claim to fame. That's the strategy is to talk to people who don't necessarily know what they're doing or know what's going on. That's how they sideswipe women, by trying to talk to people like that. But okay.
Fit was 35.
Okay.
And Fresh was 28.
Okay.
Her friend had been seeing Fresh.
Okay.
And our guest flew down to Miami to visit her friend.
I mean, I don't really care. Listen, I personally think it's weird that older men date younger girls, but as long as they're legal, I don't care. That's the hot take. It doesn't really matter. I just think that it's immature. Okay, being immature isn't illegal. That's it. There's not a whole lot else to say. It's not illegal to be immature. You know what I mean? What else do you want me to tell you?
Walter invited them. Walter's Fresh. Walter invited them on the podcast and told her.
Fresh, right? Yes. I got that. Yes, sorry. Go ahead.
Fresh employees encourage all the girls to drink before and during the podcast. That's interesting. She was 19.
Weird.
Upon arriving in the studio, our guest had to sign.
So did they how did they encourage them to drink? I genuinely do. I genuinely do wonder that. Did they say, "Hey, drink before you come," as a general statement, or did they supply alcohol? Those are two very different things. Either way, it's weird, but if they're supplying alcohol, that's really bad. If they're just you should drink before you come, I mean, they may make that a general prescription. I don't know the specific context. I don't like Fresh and Fit. I just want you to understand. But these are pretty heavy accusations to be leveraging, because I would say that it can definitely be a sign of predatory behavior to get somebody drunk in general. Well, I mean, they're just having conversations with them, so I guess it wouldn't. But it's a heavy accusation to really accuse somebody of trying to get minors to drink alcohol. That's really where I'm going with this. So we would kind of need that.
She signed a
before you come, hydrate before you come. Is that what they're saying? Just hydrate, or are they talking about alcohol? Is it just
Go ahead.
Fresh employees encourage all the girls to drink before and during the podcast. That's interesting. She was 19.
What do they mean? Are they just being okay, let's just move on.
19. Upon arriving in the studio, our guest had to sign. She signed a media release and was briefed on certain things. Don't interrupt Myron. They tell them that before they go on.
Okay.
What the fridge?
That's a little weird, I guess.
A little weird.
Wait for your turn to speak. No shoes in the studio? What has he got, little cameras down there to get little spy footage of their feet?
Maybe. Sell those pics, baby.
And don't look at your chat or camera during the show. I think that's interesting, but don't interrupt Myron is pretty pathetic. And wait for your turn to speak.
Well, we've seen examples when we've...
Is it Myron's which one is Myron? Wait. Isn't Myron... Yeah, Myron is the... Yeah, he's the alpha male. Oh, I don't know what this guy's name is. Myron Gaines and Sussy Baka. Fresh Prince CEO. That's his name? Okay. Wow, he looks just like Will Smith. I'd smack him. Just kidding. Yeah, this guy's got like an ego problem, so it makes sense for them to say something like that. Because if
content before,
a woman cannot interrupt a man. It's part of the Bible, so they're just being historically accurate.
When he
left.
Feels like he's being interrupted, he gets very tricky.
He left. The one that went viral was that girl.
Right.
The dude. Well, anyway, let's talk to her because she has a lot of interesting.
All right. I emailed her a
insights.
moment ago with the link and said hop on. So
hop on, babe. Oh, are you trying to get her to sleep with you, Dan? Hop on. What's that supposed to be? I'm just kidding.
For her to jump on the call.
Oh, she's not ready.
Should be here any second now, but yeah, I don't have her yet.
Is she in the lobby?
No.
Alrighty. Well, yeah, record scratch moment. Well, apparently, let's see what's on his Fed.
Yeah, let's explore a little
channel. Man, I love that his YouTube channel got him fired. Fed it.
What do you mean? He got him fired for the sound?
She is in the lobby.
Let's sort by most popular.
So whenever
most popular upload. Why King Von would spend life in prison alive. To be honest, I don't know any of these people he's talking about.
I just like choked on my spit. I was gonna make like a joke. Oh, what are you, racist? This is like a joke because I don't know because they're black, but I don't know. But the joke's dead now. So.
Okay, love your insight. I'm sure you have a really good insight on that one. He's the only guy being like, Jeffrey Epstein was 100% innocent.
Oh no!
And I know it because I'm a federal agent.
What did it say?
Jeffrey Epstein was 100%.
It just says, did Jeffrey Epstein will take his own life? I don't... Okay. I'm
sure you have a really good insight on that one.
Making a joke. Okay.
He's the only guy being like, Jeffrey Epstein was 100% innocent.
Maybe.
Oh, no.
And I know it because I'm a federal agent. That man did absolutely nothing wrong, and I've been to his island many times, and I never saw anything out of sorts there.
So she.
I will say, like, I know he's just joking. I tend to be like a little uncomfortable with like the pedophile jokes. I don't know. That's just like a very heavy accusation to leverage against somebody. But you know, I get that it's just like a joke. I do.
The lobby, if you'd like me to.
All right, let's do it.
All right, 1 second.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
I'm good, and you?
Very good. Thanks for calling.
Yes, of course. I've been a big fan for a while, so it was convenient that I went on Fresh and Fit. So.
Thank you so much. So basically, this was January, the beginning of the year. Oh, I can hear myself. Am I on speaker or something? You're coming in real nice and crispy.
Hold on, I have my earpods with me. I could put my earpods in.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Jeez, so unprofessional, Ethan.
Yeah,
what are you doing here?
Let me know when you're all situated there.
Can you guys hear me better now?
Yeah.
You sound great. Yeah, I think the echo's gone. So you appeared at the beginning of the year. Now, how did you end up on the show?
So basically what had happened was I had, she's my best friend, one of my best friends. She lived out where I live in right now. I live in New Jersey. So she moved out to Miami around like November, September of last year. And when she moved out to Miami, she was like, she had her own apartment. So she was looking for something to financially like support her. So she went on this.
Wait, she was what?
Was like, she had her own apartment. So she was looking.
Of Brandon's.
Oh my God. Just like, dude, I hate when I have them.
More followers?
Sorry, it's just like I press.
Pretty close with him, you know. So she.
Very good. Thanks for calling. Thank you.
Okay.
With me, I could put my AirPods in.
Sorry.
So you appeared at the beginning of the year. Now, how did you end up on the show?
So basically what had happened was I had, she's my best friend, one of my best friends. She lived out where I live in right now. I live in New Jersey. So she moved out to Miami around like November, September of last year. And when she moved out to Miami, she was like, she had her own apartment. So she was looking for something to financially like support her.
So she's looking for something to financially support her, or somebody. I'm assuming something. Okay. I'm only asking because I know that like Fresh and Fit tend to peruse the. They tend to peruse the sugar baby websites. Seems to be a popular place for them to kind of navigate. So that's the only reason I was asking that. Okay.
So she went on this site where it was like a dating type of site, and you know.
Oh, she went on a sugar baby website looking for like a sugar daddy. Okay. Listen, there's no shame in it. You know what I mean? We all got to make our money. Okay. Interesting.
For financially, you know,
sugar
like
daddy.
relationships.
Yeah. Okay.
And so she met Fresh on that site.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they
Okay.
previously had gotten exposed for that. Like I think a year ago, how they had like a whole dating show, but they were found on this app, so it was kind of contradicting. But she had hung out with him a few times, but it was mostly like they were more friends than anything. So she got pretty close with him, and she ended up flying me out to Miami to visit her for about like a few days, and that's when I had met Fresh myself. So I'm not gonna lie, like he is a very nice person.
Fresh seems very nice. I mean, he
So-
just he's just kind of there, right?
I'm
I
assuming
mean, he's not.
Fresh is Will Smith CEO, right? Is that? Wow, someone's cool outside. Sorry. Is that's the one that he is, right? I think that's the truth. Okay, interesting.
Very sharp guy, and God bless him for that, right?
Yeah, and we also found out that he actually owns the podcast. It's not Myron. Myron's fit, by the way.
Okay.
Okay, so we actually maybe you can shed light on some questions we had because we noticed that Fresh had a lot more followers, and he seems to be wealthy. And I was wondering how did he get? What's his background?
Which one is Fresh and which one is Fit? I don't know which one is what. Who the fuck is who? I don't fucking understand. Whatever.
So basically, what had also, by the way, like I spoke to Sam before I came on, but the reason why I called in was because I saw your videos for a while and you guys were asking questions that like I knew the answers to, and I was like, I have to call you guys in. But basically he's the one that recruits, like him and his team recruit the girls, but it's mostly like Walter that goes to like these events at clubs. So he goes to the clubs and he's the one that goes out there to like, I guess like advertise them and stuff. I don't know exactly I don't know, but he's the one that goes out, and Myron just like stays behind at home and doesn't really do anything.
So
like, Walter,
Myron is the fucking the alpha male. He's the one that is constantly feels the need to assert his dominance, his manlyhood. Okay, good to know.
That's so Fresh is actually the brains behind the operation. He's the secret mastermind. He's the genius. He's running the operation.
In coconuts in Barbados.
I mean, coconuts in Barbados, man. It's Wednesday, my dudes.
He goes out, and the craziest part too is that he went out to clubs, and my friend had tagged along with him a few times because he invited her out with him. But he doesn't drink, neither does Myron, but they go out to these clubs to like, I guess, like speak to people, and like they don't drink like a sip of liquor, like they refuse to.
That's so fucked up. Well, you know why? They're trying to find drunk girls to take advantage of.
Yeah, of course.
Holy shit.
I'm just trying to I guess investigate that claim a little bit. It's one of those things where, like we were saying before, like it can be like a really how do I want to say this? It can be like a really shitty thing to do to try to get somebody drunk intentionally to like sleep with them. Like, but also if you're at a club setting, I mean, I think it is weird that one person would get drunk. Like you'd go to a place with a bunch of drunk people, so that has lowered inhibitions. But then also like, are they going? There's a difference between talking to drunk girls versus like blackout drunk girls. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just, it's one of those areas where it's like, I guess more nuanced because like, it's just like fucked up. You're engaging in drinking. It's all like consensual and, but I do think it's weird. I don't like Fresh and Fit. I just don't think that we should instantly be labeling them as predatory, like in some capacity because it's easy, if that makes sense. Okay.
That's so creepy.
Yeah. But when I had flown out to Miami, my first day there, I slept the whole day, but my second day, me and her had gone out to like a little hotel pool party. And after that, he invited us back to his apartment to have like, just to hang out with him and stuff. Because I had talked to him over the phone a few times, but when we went to his apartment, we spoke to him. I met his dog and stuff. He was very cool, down to earth. And then my friend had asked like if we could be on the podcast, and he was like, "Okay, like you guys can come on." So we went on like 2 days later, and then that's when I had my whole experience, like before, during, and after on the podcast.
Okay.
So what I'm hearing so far is Fresh is the brains. He's actually a sweet guy, which I believe.
Okay.
I think the whole funny thing that you're touching on is how they complain about women being gold diggers, but they're finding women to date on gold sugar daddy.
No, that's a huge thing. Like that's what I've been saying all along. Like that's what they do. They have a particular idea of women, and then they look for those women to be like, women are disgusting. This is all women. Like they're disingenuous pieces of shit.
Websites. It makes no sense.
Yeah. And like the more I get into this stuff, like I kind of had like my own debate with Myron off camera. Like it's just like they're very. I could say Fit is a very insecure man from my experience with him. But,
Fit, Myron is Fit. We know that now. He's not Fresh. He's Fit. I agree 100%. He's very insecure. A fucking loser status.
it's like it's a very hypocritical podcast. I mean, it's already known, but like it's disgusting. I don't know. I just can't stand them.
All right, so tell me about the day, because I know you had some interesting run-ins with Myron, aka Fit. So tell me about the day of the podcast leading up to it. Let's start there.
Okay.
So the day of the podcast,
Myers Bozo. Well, I want to say one thing, like whatever, Fresh Prince, Fresh. Oh, Fresh Prince CEO. That makes sense. He's fresh. I'm a fucking moron. Anyway, let's just keep in mind that, like, yeah, he's not the one that embarrasses himself. He's not the insecure one of the group, but he's still 100% complicit in this entire show. He allows it to happen, especially if he's the creator. So it seems like, if anything, I don't think it's an unreasonable argument to make that, like, Fresh is just basically passing it off onto Fit. He's like, yeah, this guy, like, he basically is like, yeah, I get to have this podcast where I come off as reasonable by association. But it's like, yeah, of course. No kidding. It's like, yeah, Jeffrey Dahmer is really cool when you compare him to Hitler. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that they're like Hitler or Jeffrey Dahmer, but my point is that just because one is worse doesn't mean that the other isn't, like, bad. You know what I mean? That's all I'm trying to say. So
when they have the podcast in like this apartment building, so when we got there, they basically told us the floor to go up to. So when we got up there, you walk in and right away, like, they tell you to stay quiet, like, stay silent, you can't speak. And they had like a segment going on. Yeah, it was live. So they were telling us to stay quiet. And then that's when they had us fill out like
yeah, of course they would have you stay quiet if the show is live. It's just weird the way that they presented that. Whatever. Okay.
The consent form, like, to be on camera. And they told us to take off our shoes. They said that there's no shoes and no vaping, because they said that if you vape, they think the fire alarm's going to go off.
Are you freaking kidding me, bro?
That's not true.
After that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
well, what do you mean that's not true? I mean, they don't want you to vape in the thing? What? Okay. I mean, I'm making a joke, but, like, yeah, I guess I could see why it could be a fire hazard. I think that's like a standard practice from the fire marshal. The fire marshal is probably the ones that said you shouldn't do this. I don't know, but okay, whatever. I don't know. I'm getting caught up on
after that, they finished the segment, and that's when Walter came over to me and my friend, and then all the girls started coming in.
Walter from Breaking Bad?
They had like this, I believe he was the sound tech guy, because he kept telling us to speak into the mic, but he told us the rules. So he came up to us and he told us, listen, like, when you go on, you have to speak into the mic. You can't interrupt Myron. They said that you can disagree with him until the sun comes up, as long as you wait for your turn and you let him speak. That's what they said. And they said that no shoes, of course, and you can't look at yourself in the monitor, like, or the chat. And then there was they also took our phones before we went live. Like, they took all of our phones in a basket, so we couldn't use our phones.
This guy really.
I wonder why they did the whole phone thing. It seems, I know this is weird. It seems like they have like a very interesting perspective on respect, if that makes sense. Like, no phones. Like, it's disrespectful to be on your phone. Like, that kind of that's the energy that, like, I'm getting, if that makes sense. I could be wrong. But that's kind of the energy I'm getting.
And the dude thinks he's like Dave Chappelle or something. Like the way they have that locked down and stuff is pretty incredible for a small time podcast.
I mean, like, listen. Okay, whatever. Let's just move on.
Yeah, and
I mean, it's just like a weird criticism. Like, yeah, they are. I guess they're smaller, but they're fairly successful. I don't like them, but it's like it's weird shots at like it's just the weird shots that come off as like bizarre to me. You know what I mean? I don't know. I guess I'm probably just being annoying, but I am being very annoying. Okay.
So they finished the segment, and then that was the time that we all like mingled with the girls to get to know each other and stuff. And then there was this other guy that worked for him. I just know that he's the one that does the streaming before the live to show people like what's going on behind the scenes and stuff. And he's mostly like the advertiser, like on social media. He just controls. I believe that's what he does. But he came up to me and my friend, and he offered us alcohol. He said, like, do you guys want to drink? And I was like, no, thank you, because like, you know, like, I've drank in high school and stuff like that.
So like that's the first biggest issue with me, is that like they offered you a drink. They should know her age right off the bat. That's the huge problem. Like, you're vetting these people, you should know their age. It doesn't matter. That's a huge fucking issue. Like, that's issue number one. Like, you shouldn't be caught off guard by their fucking age. Like, there's no, even if your argument's like, well, I didn't know. Well, why didn't you know? You're in a professional podcast setting. You should be checking identification. Don't offer people a fucking alcoholic beverage if you know they're underage and you have no reason to believe that. You have no excuse. That's fucking, like, just stupid. Like, you're being stupid as shit. Like, how no vaping, because the fire marshal said so. But you want to drink even though you're 2 years underage? Like, doesn't make sense.
I knew I was going on a podcast, so I knew I wanted to be coherent when I was, like, on live.
So this is before.
You think offering drinks to a person underage is a sign that you think that they're mature? I understand what you're saying. It's interesting that you're saying that. I don't know if I agree wholeheartedly with you, but you're saying that, like, it's possible that they're trying to make them feel like they're more mature by offering them a drink. Maybe. maybe that's the kind of the motive. Like, oh, I'm trying to make them feel more mature by offering a drink because that's all mature people do. Okay, I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. I think it's a sign that they're being immature. But it's interesting that you bring that up. Okay.
Before you go on, you're 19 years old, and they're offering you alcohol. That's classy.
Yeah, and then so they offered me a White Claw, so I was like, no, thank you. And they were like, come on. So like,
that's a basic white girl drink. Of course you'd like that. I'm just kidding.
The White Claw, and I opened it and pretended like, like, oh yeah, I have a White Claw.
Pressured you, in fact, to take an alcoholic beverage. We love that.
Yeah, and then after that, the one guy, he came out with like a tequila bottle. I don't know where he got this bottle from, but he was like, oh, who wants to take a shot with me? And the two other girls were like, no, thank you. And then he looked over at me and my friend, and he was like, come on, guys, come on, take a shot with me. Don't make me do this by myself.
Come on, bro.
And so my friend was like, you know what, whatever, I'll just do it. So he could stop asking me, basically. And
so they're like heavily encouraging them to drink. Like, that's pretty fucked up. Yeah, that's like really gross and irresponsible, obviously. I mean, what the fuck? That's gross.
The shot with him, and then from there on, like, they just did all the advertising and like taking pictures of us for the thumbnail. And Myron came out, and actually, like, he's pretty tall. I told Sam this, like, when I was like telling her the notes and stuff. He's a very tall person in person, but he came out, and I was like not expecting him to look the way he did. And Walter came up to me and he said to me, do you want to go on a double date with me and Myron? And I said, with who? And he said, your friend. So they wanted to go on a double date with my friend, me, and Impression Fit. And they said that they wanted to vlog it. And then I obviously denied. Yeah,
Break Invasion vibes. Remember you used to do that?
I thought that the sniper would have been able to take care of all the AoE waves, but it's not. So I gotta do something better.
So again, you're 19, he's 35, and he's trying to take you out on a date?
Well, that in and of itself isn't a problem. I would expect immature, fresh, and fit to do that. It's the alcohol that's an issue with me. Like, you shouldn't be pressuring a kid to do that, to drink alcohol.
Walter was the one that approached me on it. Mind you, I didn't say a word to Myron, so I never like.
I mean, I know people be like, well, she's 19, so it's not as big of a deal. I get it. I just still think it's gross. I think it's unprofessional. I think it's immature. So.
Like, I didn't know him in person. I knew him from like social media, but like he never spoke to me the whole time until we got on the podcast. So Walter came up to me like with this proposition of, we're going to go on a vlog, and like it's going to be a big deal. And I simply was like, no, like I'll pass on it, simply because I don't want to be associated with them, like at all. Like, smart. So I was like, yeah, I'll think about it. And then after that, Myron came over and he said, can you guys believe Ethan Klein just did a video about us? Da, 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 da. And then that's when I was smiling because I was like, I'm a fan. So I was just thinking,
you're like, I'm going to end up on his show talking about this.
Yeah.
Was he excited, or was he like pissed about it?
No. Well, he was like laughing, but the thing with him is like, I don't have my PhD or anything, but I think he's very easy to read, that he laughs over his insecurities. Like, it's so obvious how like, oh yeah, ha, 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 I'm not mad about this, but he clearly is.
Right,
and,
I see.
He like tries to make it. He does it several times.
Well, let's keep in mind that they're not minors. I know you said pressuring alcohol to make a minor feel like their specialty is equal or whatever. Yeah, I know what you're saying, but they're not a minor. It's like, I just want you to know that they're not like a minor. The context is accurate. I still think it's inappropriate and gross and unprofessional, but they're not a minor. Like, let's keep that in mind.
When women debate him, he just laughs over it, but he makes himself look 10 times more stupid. But he did it like that. He was like, oh my God, can you believe Ethan? What a guy. He's talking about me, blah, 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 blah. And I was smiling like on the couch, and I was next to Walter, and I look over at Walter and I said, so you guys going to go on the podcast? And he was like, we're going to think about it. And then that's when I said to Walter, and I said to Walter, well, I actually.
That's true. They seem to have an issue with like actually talking to men. Like, they seem to not like they don't talk. It doesn't seem like they talk to men who disagree with them. They seems like they're afraid of like men who might disagree with them. I agree with that 100%.
Watch the H3 podcast. So, and he was like, yeah, that guy. Yeah, I don't know. They were just very like, they just switched the subject right away. So,
by the way, I just want to note how creepy it is that they're trying to get you group of girls alcoholed up when the two of them don't drink. I mean, that is so messed up. Yeah. Not just from like, first of all, they're trying to make you guys look dumb on the show and them look smart. Exactly. And then he's also trying to take you out on a date. I mean, the whole thing is just weird and inappropriate.
And vlog it, I guess. I don't even know why.
And what?
But
the date thing isn't that big of a deal to me, I guess. But yeah, okay.
And vlog it, I guess.
Oh yeah, and vlog it, because they got to prove that we're fucking. Yo, we got chicks, bro.
Make sure you guys subscribe.
Yeah.
But she. So after that, like they started talking about you in the H3 podcast. They're like, oh yeah, we're gonna talk about it today. So they added it to their segment.
Why are they coping so hard over H3? I feel like it's just because I think it's because they think it's just an easy target. A lot of people don't like H3, for understandable reasons. But even when like Ethan's right, people tend to shit on him. it doesn't really matter. So I guess that's what it is, that they're like, oh, easy target, easy target. I suppose that's the only assumption I can make.
The end of the show, and that's when I went on the show. They started, and like the whole time I felt like I was sweating because like the monitor is huge, like right next to you. So like I'm trying not to look into this camera, and they start the show. It was very painful to to sit through the whole thing because like I knew the whole reason why I wanted to be on the show was because I didn't know who they were until the day before when I did my research, and I was like, I would love to go on this podcast and like make them look stupid in some type of way.
You're a big fan of Ethan, but you didn't know who Fresh and Fit are? This is interesting. I feel like you should. Ethan talks about them somewhat. I guess not regularly, but like irregularly. He talks about them fairly often, justifiably so. I'm not going to say that it's not justifiable. I'm just saying I'm surprised.
Way. And so I went on the podcast, and then they did like these questions like, is it okay for a guy to have a side girl? And I was like, no. And then they said the same thing for a girl, like, can a girl have a side guy? And I said, no, like I think it's equal when you're in a relationship. Like there's respect.
Fascinating conversation, by the way.
Okay, so I'm just gonna let you know because I didn't even realize I muted myself. I as we were watching this, I was just trying to make the point, basically, that when two people get into a relationship, you make a standard, you make an agreement, you make an arrangement that you are going to be exclusive with each other. It's a sign of mutual respect. Just because men and women may be different on a fundamental levels doesn't mean that like you don't give respect to somebody. That's the whole point I was making. And I said that it is a quality of like a good man, or really a good person though, but a good man to like stick to their word. To if you're gonna say something, like if you're gonna say, hey, I'm just gonna be with you, you honor that arrangement. That's what being a man is about. Like that's how I value it. That's the And so I know that the Fresh and Fit think that it's okay to cheat on girls, but it's not okay for girls to cheat on guys. So, okay.
Girl, and I was like, no. And then they said the same thing for a girl. Like, can a girl have a side guy? And I said, no. Like I think it's
like if you're gonna have like an open relationship, be my guest, do your thing. Like that's totally fine if that's how you want to create like your relationship. You do you. I don't think that there's any problem with that. But like that's if you agree to have an open relationship.
When you're in a relationship, like there's respect.
Fascinating convetion, by the the way.
Yeah, no,
is it okay
discussion.
To cheat on your partner? Go ahead, yes or no.
No, it was a great discussion, like the title. But
right.
So they said something at the beginning where like they call it a plant, where they know that I think they picked up on it. Now some girls go on the show to like pretend that they're interested to like debate them. So over some time, I think Myron picked me out of the crowd, and he was like, he made a joke about The Sims. He said that, I think you play The Sims because you want to make it like an all girl world, like basically calling me a feminist. Okay. And
well, the worst insult, of course, to levy against a woman.
Yeah. And I just laughed, and I was like, yeah, okay. And then when I had said the whole thing about a girl having a side guy and a guy having a side girl, I said, I think that both a man and a woman should be equal in a relationship where you guys need to respect each other. And he basically said, so you think men and women are the same? And I said, no, I don't think men and women are the same.
Dude, the dude is like, he has one trick. Mm-hmm. He literally just tries to drive every conversation to how men and women are fundamentally different. And anyone that tells you that's crazy, like I see where he's trying to lead the conversation in a way where he's comfortable talking about it.
And he was like, I'm going to take a note of that. We're going to come back to this discussion. And I was like, I don't think men and women are the same, but when it comes to a relationship, it's like you're basically one person at the end of the day. So they're the same. And he was like, I disagree. And the whole, like, after that, like the rest of the podcast, like he would find any time that he could to like sound bite me or like play the soundboard or like do something. And then after that, like I was like over it by the end of the show. But at the end of the podcast, they were reading the super chat. And of course, all of his fans were coming at me the whole time. And they were saying like, oh, she doesn't like biological reality, meaning like, like I don't like the fact that men can cheat and women can't.
That's not a biological
that's a biological reality. Apparently on in the Fresh and Fit universe, it's just understood by the men, of course. The women, they still haven't got that memo. We're working on that, boys. Yeah.
It's so interesting because if you're going to go with this biological reality argument where it's like men are allowed to cheat because they like sex. Well, first of all, women also like sex. I know Myron doesn't understand that because like he even said he doesn't care if a woman like comes. Like that's not the point of the point of the encounter isn't for a woman to enjoy it. Like he actually said this. I'm not kidding. But I guess there's like a biological imperative for women. I guess from an emotional perspective. So like, why not have that perspective as well? Like then it's okay for women to, by this logic, if it's okay for a man to cheat because they're biological imperative, it's okay for a woman to cheat as well emotionally. Maybe not sexually, but emotionally. That's okay. That's his logic here.
Yeah, and then I basically just like, that's my time. Like I took it as my time to shine because it was like final thoughts, and they were like, oh, but do you have a rebuttal against that? And I basically said, it's not that I don't like this biological reality. It's the fact that I don't like that your podcast sits here and likes to normalize this thing. And he was like, oh, you think we normalize these things? And I said, yeah, I think you like to sit here and say that men can cheat and women need to get over it.
They're trying to normalize it to their audience, which I think is really disgusting. They're complicit in raising a bunch of like worthless men. I mean, that's just the reality of it. They're complicit in raising a bunch of like worthless men that are shitty, and that's a huge problem. So.
And he went quiet and he said, well, I think women can cheat. And I said, at the end of the day, no one should be sitting here talking about cheating and how it's okay and how I have to deal with it if a man has a Rolls Royce or this and that. Because at the end of the day, no one gives a crap about that. Like, I don't care what you have. All I care about is respect. And then they, and I also had said to him too, like, why do you want to feed into this stereotype that women want money, but you sit here like and feed into it? Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. But
well, the double standard to me that's always funny is like, they want a young, beautiful, perfect bodied woman, right? That's all they care about. They want them dumb and young. And so if a woman wants you for your money, what's the fucking difference between the two?
Yeah, no, it's. But he said something along that line during the.
I'm not understanding Ethan's point, to be honest with you. I don't really get what he's trying to say there. Okay.
Podcast where, well, those are my standards, and like he basically says the same thing that he did for the Australian people, where he said, open on my end, closed on yours. Like, that's his whole mindset, and it's just embarrassing. But it was just funny to see like my experience with him afterwards, which was after the show ended, they gave us a ride home. So we had gotten into the car, and they closed off the podcast talking about you. They said, oh, well, this guy just challenged us. And also, by the way, they subscribe to you. They're subscribed to the H3 podcast.
Of course they are. And by the way, that invite is still open, which they're too cowardly to accept. It's pathetic at this point.
Well, after they said like, oh yeah, we're going to take on the challenge, when they said it on live, we had gotten into the car afterwards, and it was me and my friend, Fresh and Fit. And
I wonder why they won't accept it. I wonder if it's because they can't copyright strike it because it's going to be Ethan's property. You know what I mean? Like, I wonder if that's the reason. They're like, oh, well, Ethan's going to be able to own it so people can actually like react to it without us being able to DMCA strike it. You think that's what it is? I don't really know.
And another girl from the show. And as we were driving back to my friend's apartment, they started talking. I basically brought it up, and I was like, so you guys are going to debate Ethan? And they said, nah, we're not going to do it. Like, he's just going to make fun of us the whole time. And I was like, I don't think he would do that.
Like, who cares if he did do that? What does that matter? Even if he did, which is like, so take the debate, make him look bad if you think you can. You know what I mean? Like, what does it matter if he makes fun of you? You're going to cry? Like, what is the... What is good? What, are you gonna cry? Oh, Ethan's making fun. What is wrong with you? That would just make him look bad if that's all he did. But okay.
But
me, I would never do that.
Yeah. And
no, but I actually am. I am genuinely interested in having discussing these issues with them. Not that I think it's like I don't think you can really get anywhere with them. But there you go. You see, their whole plan from the beginning was to dodge us.
Yeah, they were basically saying all of that. And then we got back to the apartment, and I left my wallet in, I guess it was a gift from God, but I left my wallet in Myron's car because he was the one driving. And my friend's keys were in my wallet. So we had to get the wallet back because we couldn't get back into the apartment. Mind you, it's like 5 a.m. in Miami. And we started calling Walter. He's not answering. It's like a whole game of cat and mouse. And Myron gets the wallet. And Walter was like, oh, he wants your friend's number if he's going to bring back the wallet, meaning me.
Oh,
so
weird.
I was like, sure, like I need my wallet, like I'm not gonna text this guy anyways.
Well, it's kind of shitty they put him in a situation where it's like you got to give him your number if you want the wallet back. Like, that's just like inappropriate. Like, what would you? That's ridiculous.
So he gets my number and he brings back the wallet, and I had basically texted him saying like, don't steal my wallet, like before he put it back. And then he started talking about how I look like Tim Pool, and I was like,
what?
Sorry, was he? Is that his way of coming on to you?
I guess. I thought, I don't know. It was just, he sent me.
I tell that to Ela sometimes when I want to be really nice when she looks really good. Babe, you look like Tim Pool.
He's got such.
Can I see a picture of you, or do you not want me to draw attention to it?
I mean, if I could turn on the camera. I just don't want to show my face on the stream.
Well, I want to rate you on a scale of Tim Pool.
I think I'm pretty Tim Pool.
To regular.
Oh, Ethan, what are you doing?
You know what the problem is though? It's definitely.
I sent a few pictures to Sam.
All right, let's pull it up. So go continue on with his attempting at courting you while I pull up this. Yeah.
So so we said I looked like Tim Pool, and then I guess that was his way of flirting. I don't know. And then he tried to maintain a conversation with me like through text, and I was like not answering him because I had gotten my wallet back. And I only had about like 3 more days I had left in my trip, and me and my friend were saying like, you know, it would be fun to sit here and like make him look dumb. Like he sits here and he thinks that he can get all these women, but then a 19-year-old like doesn't rejects him. So basically he kept like texting me every day. Like when I wouldn't respond, he would just say hello, like called me. I never answered. And then eventually I was like,
a little desperate.
And I was like, if I'm gonna hang out with him, like I'm okay to hang out with him to like, because like you can't interrupt him on the podcast, but I can interrupt you at dinner. So I basically said, you know what, if we're gonna hang out, I want to eat dinner or go to lunch, simple. And he said, well, you can come to my place and see if you can handle me. And I was like, no, he said, if you can handle this. And I said,
wait, hold on, I have a picture of you. Hold on. I don't know. I hate to break it to you, but
yeah, I'm pretty simple.
That is a spitting image of. I don't know if you can see it. It's literally a picture of Tim Pool. I'm not making fun of the way you look.
No, I'm trying to. I was supposed to stay anonymous. Why'd you guys show a picture of me?
Yeah, sorry. Well, if you want to be anonymous, we don't have to pull it up. No big deal.
no, I'm kidding. Yeah, it's just because like I'd rather not like get wrapped into their BS, because if you take one of their brooms and beat them up with it, it's a big deal. But I don't know if you remember him saying that. If you go to his broom shop.
What?
Oh yeah, something about beating up each other with a broom or some shit.
Right.
Yeah. I think the broom is interesting. I think he's tapping in some trauma. Did you find a picture, Sam?
Okay.
But yeah, so basically he throughout the.
By the way, sorry, I gotta cut you off.
Yes, okay.
This person just said she's definitely trolling y'all. I should have said this at the top. We've confirmed that she's been on the show.
I mean, doesn't mean
she was there.
Doesn't mean she can't be trolling you, but I mean, why would you think that she is? Okay, but so far we have a girl who went on the Fresh and Fit podcast and then like left her wallet there, and then they were like, if you want your wallet back, we need to get your number, which is really shitty and creepy. And then she's like, she got the wallet, she got the number, but then she decided to ghost them, which is totally fine. But then she's like, you know what, I'm gonna go out to dinner with them to prove them wrong. Okay.
This is all. This is a real person who's been on the show. We confirmed it. So I should have said that at the top. But all right, let me see. I got a picture. Oh my God, dude! What the hell? Should I show it or no? Oh, don't show it.
Yeah, don't.
Oh, I thought I was supposed to show it.
No.
Oh, don't show it.
You could describe it. I mean.
All right, she's wearing a beanie. She appears to be bald.
Yeah, it's me.
No, she's a young, beautiful girl that looks nothing like Tim Pool.
I don't see any resemblance whatsoever.
Okay.
So,
but that's
really
an interesting pickup line.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's a conversation starter. There you go.
He that's how he started it all. But from there, he just basically kept texting me like every day, like hey, like and like he would ask to hang out, but I would make up an excuse, like, oh no, sorry, I have to do something today. Sorry, I'm hanging out with my friend.
That's awesome.
And I basically I would hint at it like several times, not hint at it, but I would say like, if we're gonna go out, can Izzy and Walter? So can my friend and Walter come? And he was like, oh well, you can't leave your friend alone. And I was like, not really, because it was because I never wanted to be alone with him at all. I did not want to be alone with him. And so the days go by and it's my last day in Miami, and I thought it was going to be my last day, but I had got stuck there because of a snowstorm back at home. So I thought it was my last day, and me and my friend had gone out to the club that was around her area. And when we went in there, we were doing our own thing, and Walter had showed up, and he came up to us, like we went to his table, he was talking to us, and he comes straight up to me and he says, well, Myron wants you. And I said, a child? Like, because I know I'm not a minor.
I mean, you're 19, and
I'm freshly out of being a minor.
Yeah.
Okay, but like that, stop. Come on. I get it. You're younger, but like, stop with this fucking ridiculous bullshit. I mean, are you kidding me? Like, I know I'm not a minor. Yeah, you're not a minor, so it's not like illegal or really wrong. It's immature. But this whole, I'm freshly out of a minor. I'm 19. You're not really freshly out of being a minor. You're 2 years out of being a minor, or a year and change, I guess, based on depending on the math. But can you stop? Like, if you're going to generally advocate for an increased age of consent to something like 22 or 25 or something, that's fine. But then, like, shut the fuck. But like, I doubt you have that stance. It's more of like, you just want to make this guy seem creepy. He's already not a great person. We're not gonna lie. But like, the way that you're phrasing it is like really gross.
Yeah, I mean, you practically just finished high school at that point, right?
What?
Yeah, I probably just finished my first year of college, but.
And so, was it weird for you for this 30?
So you just basically left high school, right? Yeah, no, I just finished college. Oh, those are the same. What? Those are totally different. What the fuck's happening right now? Oh my god, dude. Oh my god, dude. What are you doing?
35-year-old man to be so persistently pursuing you?
Yeah, it was very. What I describe it as, like, when I on the podcast, I was sick to my stomach just being on the podcast itself. But
I mean, if he had her like cornered in a room, it's like you need to fuck, like that's different. But like right now, you know, she could have disengaged from this, but she wanted to engage in something just to, I guess, to troll him. Whatever, that's fine. But like, can we like this whole thing that like everything is fucking rape is really an unfortunate. It's just unfortunate, I guess I would say. Like, what are we doing right now? Like, this is kind of ridiculous. It's actually very ridiculous. I find it to be very ridiculous and problematic, to be honest with you.
Being in his presence, like later in the night, I felt very sick because it was just weird. So knowing...
I find it odd too that his buddy, these guys they're like kindergartens. Like he's sending his buddy to be like, hey, you want to go on a double date? Or yo, my buddy really likes you. It's like, dude, this guy talks about alpha maleness. He's sending love notes through his buddy, which is cute, you know, if it's age appropriate.
It is age appropriate.
I think they said that there's a rule that for a guy to date someone, it's half your age plus 7 or something, like 12, and I am pretty sure I'm way below that, even if that was a rule.
What's the rule? I haven't heard
that.
I think
half your age plus 7 is the one that I've heard many times, and I don't think 19 would be acceptable under that rule to a 30.
Wait, that's interesting. So wait, I'm 36. So I go times 2 plus 7?
No, divided by 2 plus 7.
It would be 25.
25? That seems young for me. 25?
I mean, this is not an actual rule.
This isn't like a law or
people say. Yeah.
It's definitely not the law.
As kind of just like a guideline. But yeah, I mean, if he's 35.
So wait, if you're 60, wait, I'm interested by this rule. So it's minus 2.
No, divided by 2.
Yeah, plus 7. 37 if you're 60. See, that seems fine to me. I mean, obviously a big gap. Okay.
But yeah, if it was an actual rule, he would have failed that one. Yeah. But it's pretty rough. But he, I guess I said to Walter, like, a child. Like, I'm young. And I said, what is it so attractive about me that he wants me this bad? That it's been like 3 days that he can't get out of my cell phone. And also he talks about being this famous #1 men's podcast, but you're stuck on a 19-year-old.
#1 men's podcast? What does that even mean? Like, #1 human trafficking podcast in the world? It's not, the competition isn't tight.
Yeah, no, it's. But when I had asked him, like, what is it about me that he's so attracted to? He said, "You're his type." Again, I said a child, and he said no. He said, "No, you're just his type." And I said, "Can you elaborate?" But he wouldn't elaborate. So I said to him, I said, "I disagree on everything that he says. I'm pretty sure I look pretty young, and I don't know what it is like about whatever." So we get to the point of Walter just keeps saying that Myron wants me, and I was like, "Okay, then I'll get back to him later in the night." I was trying to avoid him as much as possible. And then the night goes on, and I have like a drink or two with my friend, and I'm like ready to eat food with everybody. So we tell Walter, can we go get food? And he's like, yeah, sure. Like, let's get in the car. So we get in the car. My friend is in the front seat. I'm in the back seat. Walter's in the front. And they're driving, and Myron just kept saying like, oh, do you want to go get something to eat? I'm like, yeah, sure. Like, let's go with my friend and Walter. And he was like, yeah, sure. I also tried getting Myron out to the club. So again, like, I didn't want to be alone with him. And he refused to go to the club because he said club's for losers, but it's great for girls. I don't know what he meant by that. But
True.
So Walter, my friend, was like, oh yeah, that's great. Like, let's get food with each other. And Walter looked over and like signaled her like, no, like, we're not doing that. So eventually, like, we pull up in front of the podcast apartment, and Myron's coming out of the building, and I get out of the car, and Walter leaves with my friend and took her to like another club.
Okay.
So
weren't they dating at that point? Right? They were dating, so it's not really inappropriate, or it's the, oh no, they're leaving her alone. Is that the argument?
Myron by myself. So we get into his car, and he drives us to like this this spot. I don't know why it was open at 5 a.m., but we sat down, we ate food. And mind you, from the minute I saw him when I got out of the car to the minute that I left with him, I was debating him the whole time. And not even debating, just telling him how much I hate his views and like him himself.
Okay.
And fun fact, he told me that he's never been in a relationship. So I had asked him, so what gives you the right to sit there and have a podcast about dating advice?
Wait. He's never been in a relationship?
That's what he claimed. He said that, yeah, he's had a few girls here and there. I think he mentioned it on the episode that I was on too, but he said he's never been in a relationship before.
So you're telling me these toxic red pill this theory of men can cheat, women can't, has not worked out for him really at all, has it? Which is so unexpected.
Yeah.
By the way, I don't know if you can see my screen, but this is what you could have been like if you would have only accepted Fit into your life. You know, you guys could have been a beautiful couple like these two here.
Wow.
Think you're really missing out on something special.
So frustrating.
Yeah, it was just.
So they got you alone with him.
Okay.
Yeah, so basically my friend was alone with Fresh, and I was alone with Fit. Perfect.
Jesus.
It was a perfect night. And we get to like.
Why is that a Jesus moment? Like, why? He's not doing anything wrong to her. If anything, he's being kind of a pussy. Why is this like a Jesus moment? Like, okay. So, a boyfriend and girlfriend left, right? They were dating. That's what we heard. It was like a sugar baby thing. They were dating. Myron was dating whatever. And then they left these two alone. Okay. Okay, so?
This restaurant, and I basically asked him like, what are your political views? I'm asking about all of his views, because I'm thinking like, if Walter's this nice off camera, maybe Myron's the same way. Nope, I was wrong. In fact, he's worse. But so whatever, the whole time I'm just like asking him his views, I'm debating him. He said something about like the thing too that his habit is
Myron? Okay, either way, whatever.
He spits out vocab vomit and he thinks that he sounds smart, but it's like, I'm confused. Like, we're off camera, you can speak English now, not red pill beta, like, no. Yeah. And he just doesn't stop. So like, I'm just like, whatever. So that's the whole conversation throughout the dinner. And then we're driving back, and mind you, I had said like, oh, we're gonna go meet my Walter and my friend now, right? And he said, yeah. I'm talking to him, I'm facing him in the driver's seat, I'm still going, I'm passionate and heated, telling him my views and stuff, and we ended up back at the podcast studio.
Okay.
So I'm like, like I'm ready to go home, and we get back up into the podcast studio and we go inside, and he's like, oh, I'm just picking up something. I just had to grab something from the studio. Okay. And again, it's like 4 or 5 a.m. in Miami, and like no one's in the studio, but the lights are all on. They have everything set up, and I already knew the way of the apartment. So I'm sitting in the kitchen area of the podcast studio, and he comes over to me and he says, of course you would wear your shoes, because I forgot to take off my shoes.
What?
And yeah. And he was like, of course you would wear your shoes. And then I had like this little vape that my friend had, and I think I hit it once, and he goes, oh, and of course you would do that in here too. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like I started laughing because I thought he was joking, but he seemed very upset. So I was like, okay. So he said, oh, you can just go to the balcony with your shoes and everything. And I was like, okay. I'm walking out to the balcony, and there's like a door that I hadn't seen open before. Like basically it's an apartment that they made into a studio. So that was the bedroom. So I'm walking like towards the bedroom, into the balcony, like towards the balcony, and he's standing in the door frame, and he just grabs my face and kisses me.
Wow. Okay. There you go. He was reading the room, good at reading the signals.
Yeah. Okay.
And
awesome.
Kisses me. I'm like, no thanks. Like, I'm like, no thanks. Mind you, this man is like 6'7".
Did he lead with tongue or no?
I don't even like thinking about it.
I'm sorry. I should. No, right. It's okay. Let's not relive that moment.
Okay. But he had kissed me, and then I just was like, no thanks, like, whatever. And I was by myself with him, and I had like a bad experience from a past relationship. So also he's very like aggressive online, so I didn't know what he was capable of if I denied it. So I just pushed him off, and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna go to the balcony. And he goes, you need mouthwash.
Yeah, what? Oh my
he was
God,
like,
bro.
You need mouthwash. I'm pretty sure, I think I sent some text over to Sam, because I was
got
texting
the text
my friend. Yeah, I was texting my friend the whole time, and you see me say like, he just told me to get mouthwash or something.
Here, let me pull up this text. Again, guys, we have receipts. This is fully vetted. Bro, Myron just grabbed me to make out, and he goes, get your Listerine. You taste like alcohol. No, he obviously knows you came from the club. He's disgusting. Oh, okay. Wait till I get home. Is Walter driving you? Yes, I'm still at the club, though. Ask Walter if he can pick me up from the studio, drive us both home. Okay. I'm about to walk. Answer now. She's all worried about you. Bro.
Oh, wait, yeah.
Please let me know. Are you okay? I'm good. Bro, he's disgusting.
Before you continue.
Okay. Oh, you want me to stop?
Yeah. You can continue after, like, I think, because, like, it's just, like, the timeline order, because it's going to be, like, a big... I'm leading up with the suspense, But
go ahead, yeah.
I come back from the balcony, because I went to the balcony and tried to stay as much as I could out there, so he could just, like, be like, okay, like, let me bring her home now, like, get tired of me, basically.
Okay.
So I come back in the room, and then I go to the bathroom, like in the kitchen. He's like, that's not where the mouthwash is. So I was like, oh, okay, where's the mouthwash? And he points to like the bedroom bathroom.
Are you a little scared at this moment?
I was very uncomfortable. I was very like I didn't know, again.
So she was uncomfortable, but she wasn't scared. I mean, it's like important, but like, listen, so far we have an awkward fucking weirdo. Like alone with her, yeah, for sure. I always talk about how like you should make sure that you make the person comfortable saying no, absolutely. And he grabbed her and kissed her. Like, I mean, like, I wouldn't call it like a sexual assault. I mean, that's kind of how things work. Sometimes you kind of push like a slight boundary. That's not a huge thing. It's a little uncomfortable though, for sure. I think that we should normalize like asking like, hey, is this okay? Okay, but she doesn't even fear, she's not afraid. She feels uncomfortable. That's a pretty normal, natural response for people to have, is just feeling uncomfortable. All right. So, okay. I don't know what else to say, but all right. All right.
A lot of people, I didn't want to speak out about this either, because again, like there's alcohol involved, like a lot of women try to speak out about stuff like this, and you usually get the whole, like, you asked for it if you didn't do this or that, the third. But like when I was in that moment.
You weren't sexually assaulted, so. Okay. All right.
Like I didn't, it was like a fight or flight or like freeze. So I basically froze. Like I didn't know what to do, but I was just like keeping in touch with my friend. Like, hey, like, what are you guys doing? Like, can we just go home? But yeah, I mean, he was just trying to keep me there.
At this moment, it does sound a little scary that you're in this studio with this massive dude he's just come on to you. He tried to kiss you. You rejected him, and now he's kind of ordering you around to mouthwash. Because at that point, it's like, well, why am I mouthwashing? Are you going to try to make out with me more?
Yeah, and I didn't really see the point in doing the mouthwash of like I don't know. So I just go into this bathroom that he led me to. Like he didn't lead me to, he just pointed to it. And also, I always forget this part whenever I tell this story, but like a little bit beforehand, I had opened the fridge before like he kissed me and stuff. I had opened the fridge and I saw like he had White Claws, like because they have like alcohol in the fridge and stuff. Okay. And they had a White Claw in the fridge, and I was like, "Oh, White Claw!" I was like, "Oh, can I have one?" Like as a joke. And he was like, "Yeah, you can have one, but just don't tell anybody."
Well, you broke that promise.
Yeah, sorry, Myron. But
okay.
So fast forward, I'm in this bathroom. I'm standing in the bathroom, like trying to kill time and like sit on the balcony. When I come out, he's like laying on this bed.
So wait, you were in the bathroom for a long time, just trying to kill time?
Yeah. I was just like, because hopefully, like I was hoping like time would go by and he would get tired and say like, oh, you have to go. You know, like.
So you were just
like,
in the bathroom for a long time. You probably thought you were shitting or something.
Yeah. I was dropping a grumpy, but.
Oh yeah.
And I come back out and I was wearing like a fresh. Sorry guys, excuse me, but I was wearing a Fresh and Fit hoodie, and because they have like a room full of merch, but I asked them where does it go, they say nowhere, so they all just collectively wear Fresh and Fit like all day long, but whatever. So I'm like standing up next to this bed and I'm texting my friend like because we're just keeping in touch with each other back and forth, like what's going on, and she wanted to go home, I wanted to go home, but the moral of the story, it's the guys were texting and the girls were texting. So like I kept telling Myron, like, I want to go home, like Izzy's waiting for me, like can we go? And Walter said to my friend at the club, he said, why are you texting her? Why are you texting your friend to go home? Like it was basically like Myron was telling Walter, like, why is her friend telling her to go home? Like it was just a whole ping pong thing going on.
Dude? You're telling him you want to leave. Like what the fuck? Is it in some remote area where you kind of feel like stuck there without assistance? Like where are you?
It was like Miami's very city like, so like it wasn't like I was alone, but like I don't know, I just didn't know my way around anywhere, so I was just like I didn't know what I was doing. And
right,
also, like, I didn't have the keys. Yeah, I didn't have the keys to my friend's apartment, so I didn't feel like going, like taking an Uber there and just waiting. Right. So that's when I had asked her, like, oh, can you have him drive to here to pick me up? And he was refusing, and it was just a whole thing. And then so at this point, like I'm standing next to this bed, and then I'm like trying to like, you know, again, like give him cues, like I want to leave, I don't want to be here. And he's like, oh, you can sit on the bed.
Well, did you say you want to leave? I mean, like it's kind of a big deal. Like I understand being uncomfortable, I get it, but like you know, you said you were uncomfortable, I get it, but like you kind of have to be like, hey, like I want to go right now. Like you kind of have to stand up for yourself. You can't just, you know, I'm just being honest with you. You kind of you have to stand up for yourself to an extent. And it just seems like, you know, I don't know what to tell you. Because, like, listen, we do, in some instances, like, we kind of treat women as if, like, they are too stupid to do anything. As if they, like, don't understand how to, like, I guess, advocate for themselves in, like, any real capacity, I guess. And this kind of feels like that moment. I understand feeling uncomfortable. I understand that, like, you felt like it's shitty. But, you know, you weren't sexually assaulted. And... like, what am I supposed to say? Like, yeah, he should have made it. He should have done better in the sense that he should have created a space where you could feel more comfortable saying no. I got that you were uncomfortable. He was a weird guy. How am I losing right now? What the fuck? I understand what you're saying there, but at the same time, you know, like you kind of have to be like an advocate for yourself. And you're even saying like, yeah, I felt uncomfortable. I just lost the game because I didn't have anything to. Okay, well, whatever. I mean, you have to advocate for yourself a little bit better, I guess, at that point. But okay. Yeah, I understand that if you're smaller, it can be scary, but like women aren't like they're not like so like we can't just make this argument that because like you're in a situation that you're instantly basically like, you know, subjected to rape. He was like I don't know what you want me to tell you. Like, yeah, I get why it would be scary, but like he hasn't threatened any physical violence at all. Like he hasn't, you know what I'm saying? I get it can be scary. Why I keep doing this? So like we can't just operate like everything is like rape just because I'm a little bit uncomfortable. She even uses the word uncomfortable. I get it, but like we can't just operate as if everything is like rape now. Like not everything is fucking sexual assault. Like we're going down like this. Everything's rape. Everything is grooming. Everything's like this. Yeah, I get it's uncomfortable. You know, but like I don't know what to tell you. Like you should have said like, hey, I want to leave, or like I don't want to kiss you anymore. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. Like you have to be clear. You can't just always just be like, oh, I assumed he was going to beat the shit out of me. Like, you know, sometimes you kind of have to, you know, And if he was being like super aggressive, like kissing her and stuff, and she's like, "Oh, I don't," and she was trying to pull away, and he wouldn't like let it pull away. Like, yeah, then we're talking about we're in a different, you know, we're in a different ballpark here. But that's not like what's happening here. So yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. It's not like there's nothing sexual assault coming here. So yeah. I mean, it's a pretty normal thing for women to feel like they're in a situation that's like a little uncomfortable, for sure. But this isn't sexual assault. She straight up says it's
so
not.
I sit on the bed.
Okay.
And I'm sitting at the edge of the bed. You know, like the memes, how they say how girls are.
It's weird because like even she's like, I'm basically a child. It's like, no, you're not. Shut the fuck up. Like it seems like they're all playing into this like weird thing here.
And I'm sitting at this edge of the bed. He's like, oh, you know, you can come up a little bit more. So now
I understand what you're saying, that she never said it was, but the way that it's phrased, like, oh, I'm a child. Oh, he put me in this situation where I'm uncomfortable. There's like a lot of suggestions that like what he did was like predatory. And I think that's I think that like that subtextual argument there is very misassigned. Like that's the energy that I'm getting here.
Come up, but I leave a nice gap between the both of us where it's like very obvious, like I don't like you, that I'm leaving a gap between us.
Okay.
And I'm on my phone, he's on his phone. And I remember, again, I was speaking about my views. Once again, he just jumps on top of me and starts making out with me.
Wow.
And like trying to kiss me and stuff. And so I'm like, I have my hands like on him where it's like, I don't want him like laying on me like intimately. So I'm just holding my hands up and I'm like, no. I'm like, this was about like max a minute long. And I was wearing like this shirt and it's like a very loose shirt, whatever. And he basically lifts up the shirt and made a comment. And then I was like, I'm done. I'm over this. Like, and
Wait,
I
he
said
lifted
to him,
up your shirt and kind of looked at underneath it and commented?
Yeah, my chest, because I have
Ugh.
piercings.
What did he say?
I'm sorry, you say what?
No, I said I have piercings, so he made a comment on it.
Oh, okay.
And it was very creepy. It was
So
very weird.
I don't want to.
Yeah, I mean that's really uncomfortable for sure. That's uncomfortable. I mean, I wouldn't call it sexual assault. Like, I mean, the kissing seemed unwarranted. Like she didn't want. I mean, like here's the thing. It didn't seem like she made it super clear that she didn't want it. I know that sounds shitty. He didn't like rape her. He didn't force himself on her in this like really super shitty way. It sounded like it was like a boundary violation. But a lot of times when you're engaging in this type of shit, like unfortunately, like that's kind of like the ebb and flow. It's like, oh, I'm gonna go for a kiss. It's shitty. Like I think that people should like ask for kisses. I mean, that's ask for kisses. It sounds so weird, but ask for kisses. I think it's uncomfortable. I think that we should like have an educational conversation about establishing like, hey, do you want this culture? I guess you'd say. I just don't think that it was like sexual assault. It was uncomfortable, probably gross. Yeah, probably creepy too. It seems like he lacks the ability and capacity to fucking like read the room. But okay.
This is bad. This is very bad.
Not
This
really.
is a very disturbing story, actually.
Not really. That's just it's uncomfortable. I wouldn't say it's like a really disturbing story. I feel like that's a little hyperbolic there. But okay.
Yeah, it's interesting. But at that point,
I think
like,
he may have assaulted you. I mean, at this point,
Oh, you are fucking having you're incredible. Wow, that's I don't know, bro. I just don't know what to say. Like, stop talking about sexual assault if you're too fucking stupid. Talk about it. Like, stop. Like, you know, fuck. Just stop. Seriously. Like, this is crazy. It's crazy how, like, I'm not trying to be an asshole. Listen, I'm gonna bring it up again. It's crazy how he'll talk to this girl who wasn't sexually assaulted and try to make it seem like she was, just to basically try to like go after Fresh and Fit. But some of my fans will go into his chat and be like, hey, can you talk about Glenn and Cameron, like an actual fucking predator who admitted that when he was like 35 years old, that he would fucking like he would talk to underage girls, and that he would look for the ones that had bad family lives to go after them, and he admitted to basically engaging in the sexual assault of, you know, of like a 16, 17-year-old with the help of their mother. Like the mother of them had sex in front of them, and then they forced them, you know, themselves, they forced them. They were trying to like fucking groom them into like whatever. And my child will bring it up and he'll be like, we'll look into it, but you don't do shit. But then you'll try to make like fucking Fresh and Fit look like predators. I mean, do we not see how this is inappropriate? This is wrong. This is like the wrong conversation to have about this. This is fucking insane to me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say that, but like, again, like, it was my experience.
he also implicationed you a little bit too. The way they split you guys up, and
what?
Yeah,
I think you got implicationed. I think you got dentist systemed. If you know what that is.
Yeah. No.
Oh, okay. Sorry. So
you're okay. So what you're trying to say is that they intentionally split themselves up so that he could try to rape her. If he was gonna rape her, I imagine that he would have raped her. I'm not trying to be a fucking asshole. I guess why it's uncomfortable. That's totally fine. But uncomfortableness doesn't equal sexual assault. So that's what you're saying. But like 2 of them were dating, right? The other 2 were dating in some capacity. Sugar baby, weirdo shit. Fine, whatever. Okay. Like, that's fine. It doesn't mean that they're like intentionally trying to set something up so that they could have sex. I don't, or to try to rape them, like you're suggesting.
It's always something.
It's okay.
So what's going through your mind as it's lunging on you now?
Like, I'm not trying to be an asshole. So they're saying that, so the girl said that he didn't want to be alone with her. So like, why not take a taxi from the club? If this was like, I don't want to be alone. I don't want to be alone with this person. I don't want to do this. Because we have a scenario where they met up. They talked on the show. Then they said that they wanted a date. Or they wanted to take her out, right? And they shittily, like, they had her wallet, and they wouldn't give back to her unless she gave the number. Okay, that's shitty. Got the number. He was texting her. She didn't want him to text her, so she could have ignored it, truthfully, and blocked him. Didn't do that. She's like, oh, I want to go out with this guy and see if I can argue with him. They go out. They're arguing about shit, back and forth, whatever. They're at a club. Then they leave it, and then then she decides to drive to the studio with him. You know, why not say, no, I'm going to get an Uber, or no, I don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the argument there? Were you saying that like he was going to beat the shit out of me if I didn't leave the club with him? Or it seems more that she wanted to engage to try to like argue with him more. Okay, they get back to the club and they have an uncomfortable situation. Absolutely uncomfortable. I could see why she was like, oh, this is weird. I could see why she might be a little afraid because he's a bigger guy. I get that. And like we said, you know, I think that we need to get to this point where we start normalizing like, hey, do you want to kiss me, or is this okay, or is that okay? Right? He's reading the signs poorly, but he's not sexually assaulting her. And so now like he's not a rapist. He didn't sexually assault her. He's a bad person, but like this is where you get into the nuanced conversations. Like, not everything is sexual assault, dude. Like, I get why it'd be uncomfortable for sure, but like, it's somewhat normal dating practice to like kiss somebody when you think that it's okay. I know that sounds weird. That doesn't make it okay. But I would imagine like if I was
it was very quick. So I was
if I was the guy, and let's from his perspective, and I like went to the club and this girl went out with me, even if she was disagreeing with me, that doesn't necessarily mean she's not interested. I took her to the club. I did this, I did that. Then I was like, hey, you want to go back to like an isolated situation with me? And she's like, yeah, sure. Like, I would be like, okay, I think that it would be situationally appropriate, given the fact that she isolated with you, that like, okay, I can go for a kiss. Not that I can go fucking like shove my fingers in her pussy or grab her by the throat and throw her down, but I can go for a kiss. Should you ask for kisses? Yes. But like, it's different. Like, it's not the same thing. Like, I could see why he got that signal. Like, it's not unrealistic. And I can see why she'd be uncomfortable. Again, I get it, but that doesn't make it sexual assault. She doesn't even agree that it is. She thinks it's I whistled. She thinks that it's an uncomfortable interaction. But even she's not like, yeah, I wasn't sexually assaulted. So why are you trying to draw this line, this comparison here, Ethan?
I was just like, no, like right away in my head, I was like, no, I don't want to have like sex with this person. Like, I don't. So I like, as soon as he like makes that comment, I push him off me and I say, I verbalized to him, I said, I don't want to have sex with you. Did you think
let's
lunging on you now?
Okay, sorry.
It was very quick. So I was just like, no, like right away in my head, I was like, no, I don't want to have like sex with this person. Like, I don't.
Okay.
So I like, as soon as he like makes that comment, I push him off me and I say,
okay.
I verbalized to him, I said, I don't want to have sex with you. Did you think I came here to have sex with you? And he got very mad. Like, he just got mad. Like, he just like, he did like a little toddler thing where he was huffing and puffing, went and goes on his phone. And he just like went silent.
Okay, so he didn't rape her. And he had no intention of ever raping her. That's it. That's the whole story. It was kind of like a dating dance, I guess you'd say. The end? Wow. I mean, like, yeah, I could see why he might think you want to have sex with him since you went to this isolated situation, like consensually went to this isolated situation with him. I could see why he might get the wrong impression. Okay. Cool. Great story. What's going on, baby? How you doing? Wow. Incredible.
And I was like, okay, like and I changed back into the outfit that I had in the bathroom. And I came out, I give him the merch back and I say, okay, can you bring me home now? And because my friend was also like drunk at the club with Walter. And she was texting me saying like, I'm going to walk home because he's not bringing me home. and it was just like a whole big
True
thing
gentlemen.
going on.
Neither, both of them are refusing to give you guys rides home.
Yes.
Yeah, so I had asked Myron. I said, "Can you drive me to my friend's apartment?" And he said, "No, I parked my car already."
Awesome.
So
Okay.
I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna order my Uber now." And he was like, "Okay." Like just acting like a complete toddler. Like in my entire.
Yeah, it sounds like a piece of shit. He's not preventing her from leaving. He's just not letting. He's not going to drive her, which is like a scum move. He's a piece of shit person. Doesn't make him a fucking sexual fucking predator, though. I mean, Jesus goddamn Christ! Like, what are we doing here? What the fuck's going on here? You know what I mean? Okay.
Like I felt like I was looking in the face of a 15-year-old, like a 15-year-old boy that like, oh, I didn't give him a kiss or whatever. Like, but at that point excuse me, I forgot the burp. But I order my own Uber, and I'm walking out, and I'm like, oh, my Uber's coming. Like, can you walk me downstairs? Because I didn't know how to work this building. So he walks into the elevator, pushes the button, and walks away. Like with no comment, he just pushes the button and walks back into the studio. And I get into my Uber, and like at that point, I think that's when it kicked in. I started crying because I was like, I don't know what just happened, but I feel uncomfortable. And that's where you could read the rest of the messages with my friend because I mentioned everything.
I can see why it would be an upsetting situation. Okay, sure.
Started crying. I don't blame you. That whole thing is really traumatic, and I'll tell you what.
No, it's not. Stop, please. Not everything's fucking trauma. Can we not make everything what's traumatic about it? It was definitely uncomfortable and awkward, but it's just fucking traumatic, Ethan. Stop, please. Can we stop? Like, can we really stop with everything's fucking trauma? It's like insane. It's insane. What are we talking about? Not everything is fucking trauma, dude. The fuck? What the hell's going on here? I mean, come on. Oh, it was definitely traumatic. Why? Based on what? Because it was uncomfortable? Like uncomfortable, not every uncomfortable situation like it's not gonna create a trauma. Oh, I'm uncomfortable. Like you're traumatized? Wow. Like I don't understand. Oh, wait, I'm doing the wrong way. Like dude, I don't remember what I did to not have this happen.
I actually didn't know how crazy this story gets at the end. I'm sorry you went through that.
Okay. It's all right. I just want to bring it more awareness.
I mean, wow, this is the thing that's really crazy is like, if you're hanging out with somebody, you know, you don't always have to give someone a ride home. But what's messed up is they intentionally split you guys up. And then he took you all the way out to this.
You're trying to make it seem like they intentionally split them up to rape her. If he wanted to rape her, he would have raped her. She felt stuck there. Okay. Like, he let her leave. I don't know what you want me to tell you. Okay. Cool.
Studio. And then basically stranded you there. He's like, well, if you want to leave, you got to fucking pay for your own ride. I mean, what?
Is that stranding somebody? I mean, we have technology. You have the ability to take like an Uber. Okay.
What the fuck, dude? But anyway, it's a good thing he didn't give you a ride home because who knows what else he would have tried on you. Okay, so let me read this. He's disgusting. Wait till I get home. Is Walter driving you home? Yes, I'm still at the club, though. Ask Walter if he can pick me up from the studio to drive us both home. I'm about to walk out. Answer, bro. Please let me know if you're okay. I'm okay. Dude, he's disgusting. I'm making him drive me home right now. Are you going home? Yes, I'm going home soon. Okay, I'm going to make him drive me home right now. Myron just tried to have sex with me. I said no, and he's mad because I said no.
Okay.
Lol, the fuck did he expect? Dude, when are you going home? He's a fucking weirdo. Is Walter bringing you home? Because I told Myron you're going home right now so he can Uber me home. I'm leaving soon, but if he knows Walter is taking you home, he's going to be weird. Why is he texting Walter? I think so, but wait, leaving with Walter, right? Leaving now, yes, leave now. Now, what are you doing 1 minute away? I'm getting my Uber. 3 minutes away. Okay. Bro, Byron's a fucking piece of shit.
That's true.
Home, need me to come down and wait. Now, I'm getting my Uber. Blah, blah, blah. Yes, please, okay. Bro, I want to cry. I'm coming, we'll talk. I'm coming down the block.
Okay.
I hate to say it. I don't want to make you feel some type of way, but that was super that's crazy.
The best part is the day after. This is the best
wait,
part
there's more?
It was crazy.
Yeah, and wait, sure. There's more. So,
and remember, this is a 35-year-old man.
Okay.
Who's stranded a 19-year-old girl in his apartment, trying to get her drunk all night, jumping on top of her, and then making her get her own ride home after he doesn't get what he wanted from you.
Okay.
Wow. Okay, so what happened the next day?
So, like, the better way to phrase this is, like, this is a situation where two people consensually went on a date of an appropriate age range, because she was above 18, where they went, she was on the podcast or whatever, then he asked her on a date, she said yes, and then they went to a club together, and like the alcohol part's shitty too, absolutely, but they went to a club together, and then he asked her to come home with her, and she said yes, and then he got the cue that she wanted to kiss, even though she didn't, so he kissed her, and then that stopped. I think he didn't like her breath, and then he went to like get on top of her to kiss her again, and she said, no, we're not doing this, and he stopped. Is it uncomfortable? For sure. Can it be upsetting? Yeah, but like, how is this sexual assault? I don't understand. Like, I get why he would have gotten the cues that he got. Why is everything fucking sexual? How is it sexual assault? Dude, okay. I thought you said those kind of age gaps were weird, Papa. Can you explain to me how the word weird is a synonym for fucking rape or inappropriate? Like, do you guys seriously not understand that words have meanings for like a reason? Oh, well, that's weird. Yes, it's weird. It's legal. You know what else is weird? Like licking somebody's feet. But you know what? That's not illegal to lick someone's foot. Oh, it's really weird that you like the smell of your own poop. Okay. That's weird. Oh, yeah, sure. Is it illegal? No. The word weird doesn't mean illegal. Just because I think something's fucking weird doesn't make it wrong. Like, I don't understand. Like, you guys have to stop conflating something that's bizarre with something that's fucking illegal. Because you want to know, we get down the line. Oh, what if I think that it's weird to be gay? Well, should that be illegal? Should it be illegal to be gay if somebody thinks that it's weird to be gay? Oh, we used to think that. Remember when we thought that? When weird things should be illegal? Oh, two men kissing? That's weird. We should make that illegal. Yeah, we do remember that. That's what the fucking chain of events that we're going down, because everything needs to be fucking rape. Everything needs to be fucking grooming now. Just because you're uncomfortable doesn't mean that it's fucking illegal. And she didn't have to engage with this dude. Like, she wanted to. She wanted a nay-nay on him. That's totally fine. And she felt uncomfortable. Okay, that sucks. So I think that he should have made it, like, asked to kiss and shit beforehand? Yeah, for sure. But did he rape her? No. Like, Jesus goddamn fucking Christ. Like, people, you have to stop validating your feelings, because your feelings are wrong. Because, like, not her, your feelings. So, oh, it's weird. Oh, it's weird. Okay, who fucking cares if it's weird? That doesn't make it fucking rape. It doesn't make it, like, I don't understand why the word weird to you means is like a legal claim. It's so frustrating. Like, it's just so frustrating. It's crazy.
So basically, I sent those over too, but
Wait, there's more? Should I open something else? Screenshots of
yes, they have an appropriate age gap. It is legal. It doesn't, just because it's weird doesn't mean anything. What you're saying doesn't mean anything.
Should I look at this?
Yeah, just for backstory too. When I had gotten back to my friend's apartment, I told her what had happened. I was like telling her like, this is what happened, and we basically agreed. I was like, okay, let's go to sleep, and in the morning, if I say the story the same way I did last night, then it happened, because I felt like I was imagining the whole thing. So she was like, okay, so we go to sleep. We wake up the next day, and the first thing we did when we woke up is like, I told her the whole story again. And she was like, yep, everything's the same way you said it before. And then right away, I look at my phone, and there's a text from Myron, and then that's where you can read those texts.
Okay, here we go from Myron. Okay. I don't know if yesterday was planned with you, but it wasn't cool. I really didn't think you were that type of girl. Oh, he's mad at you?
Okay. Yeah, he was very mad because I didn't give it up. I say it further in the text.
So first thing in the morning, he's texting you hate messages. I don't know if yesterday was playing with you and your friend, but it wasn't cool. I really didn't think you were that type of girl. Very disappointing. Type of girl what? To just want to hang out?
Well, no, the type of girl to like trying to like basically troll him. I mean, she established that she was only trying to hang out with him to like argue with him. So I guess that is what he's saying. Okay, he's pretending to be a victim. He's not. But like, yeah, he did get trolled by her basically. Like, she wasn't ever interested. She just wanted to argue with the guy. That's what they're talking about.
Not want to fuck me the minute you see me? So you say, what do you mean by that type of girl, and what do you think could have been planned between us? If I can't get an explanation what that type of girl is, then don't label me as that. You know what you did? Actually, don't, so please enlighten me. You could come over and we can talk about it. How does this guy still want to hang out? He's still trying to get you back to his house. Holy shit.
Yeah, and during this time, like, I didn't want to say it right away. I'd rather him say it for himself. Like, you know, like, this is why I'm mad. And that's why you see me, like, avoiding it at first. I'm like, no, what did I do? What did I do? And he just never says it. But he keeps going. He says, like,
so you say, I'll continue to say, what makes you think I would want to come over after you saying I had possibly planned something, then saying I know what you did? You know what you did? He says, oh, wait, no. Not to my apartment. I was going to meet in the lobby and talk about it.
Okay.
Did you not read what I said? You're also texting me in a rude way and childishly saying you know what you did, but won't exactly explain what that meant or what you think I'm planning, and disregarded my question as to what the type of girl meant, because I honestly want to know.
Okay.
Exactly. You can't call me anything because you're quiet. Don't project your anger onto me because I didn't want to have sex with you. Who's this?
Yeah, he tried to play the card. Oh, I don't know who this is. I deleted your number. Like, that really pulled a heartstring on that one. I cried for days.
Okay. Wait. But he said that a day later, or later that night? How long?
Yeah, no, because I after I had sent those texts, like there's the two last bubbles you see, the one before that, before you see the date, he didn't answer me for a few days, and I had gotten home from Miami.
So why are you still messaging him? I don't understand.
And I was like, he's not responding to me, so I might as well just say my piece, and then that's it. So that's when I had said what I said. Like a few days later, he answered. Yeah.
Shit.
Can I put a theory forward?
No.
About these text messages and tell me what you think.
Okay.
Because obviously, if this happened to you, it's happened to a lot of people, I think. He preemptively texts you in the morning and accuses you of doing something, and he won't say what it is.
Okay.
Is he trying to give himself some kind of alibi in case there's any allegations against him?
You're such a dumb person. Holy shit. Dude, like literally, if you followed this story at all, in the beginning, she mentioned that they were like in some capacity, like nervous in some capacity about how like people are just trying to like troll them and shit. That was a pretty big thing that they had mentioned at one point. And like, yeah, people just are plants. They called it the way we use the word plants. Like people are just plants. They just want to like, you know, have a conversation or whatever just to kind of get at us, blah, 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 blah. That's what he's referring to. Like you could use any context clue available there. It's right there. That's what they're referring to. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay.
Because he fucked up and it will look really, 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 really bad if you told this story.
Not really. What are you talking about? It looks like he's a shitty person, 100%. But I know that you're trying to say that he's like a fucking rapist.
So that's how I read this. Is he's like, I'm going to send this message saying you did something, and I'm not going to say what it is, so that if there's ever her trying to expose me, I have these texts that apparently you did something and I didn't do anything.
That doesn't make any sense, Ethan. Thank you for your insight.
I mean, I don't know what else. What do you think he's trying to do?
Oh well, Ethan, I think that what I just said
with these texts.
I think he was just like, I don't know. I agree, but I also like felt like.
Agree with what?
I think he really believes himself. Like I'm some type of girl.
It's so crazy because I think that like she has like a pretty practical understanding of the situation. It's like she's like, yeah, this was like uncomfortable and shitty, and I think he's like a weird guy, and that's what she went on to tell. That's what she went. She came on to tell a story of a fucking weirdo. I think that's great, perfectly reasonable. And Ethan came on to make sure that he looks like a fucking rapist. That's Ethan. That was like Ethan's like that's the game that he wanted to play here. So, like, that's where we are right now. It's fucking bizarre.
Like, how dare you not want to have sex with me? I'm
sure. Could have been genuine.
I have all these cars and all this money, and how dare you? Like, I didn't know you were that type of girl to have respect for yourself. I think that's
right. I'm so disappointed.
Yeah,
I'm so disappointed that our elaborate plan to separate you two and sleep with you both after meeting you once. I'm so disgusted by you.
Yeah, that's exactly what I felt like, because I really think he lives in a world. Like, I think he believes everything he says. Like, I do believe he's insecure, but everything that he says, I think he genuinely believes.
Well,
like,
he's never had a girlfriend, and he's.
Yeah, he said something too along the lines, like on the episode I was on. He said that he never chased after girls in school because it was a distraction. And another friend of mine said, just say you didn't get girls. It's simple.
Probably,
say that.
Yeah.
But
what's weird is like if he wasn't such a creepy, brain rotted weirdo, like he's tall and he's fit in the name. You would think that if he just would lighten up a little bit and be like a reasonable, normal guy, he had no problem attracting women and getting into a relationship. But there's something.
Probably not with a 19-year-old.
I mean, sure, yeah. I mean,
okay, you're still.
But there's something so disturbed about him. And I don't know if you're watching before, but he was a federal agent for human trafficking. What the fuck, dude?
Yeah. So my friend that lives across the street.
What does that matter? I'm like, what is the argument here? That cops are like good people? Like, what are you saying? You're trying to make this assertion that he is like a fucking sexual predator somehow. That's what we're trying to say. I forgot. Okay. Who cares if he was a cop for fucking trying to get rid of human trafficking? Like, what does it matter? You're trying to make this assertion that like he's doing something like super inappropriate when he's not. Like, that doesn't matter. Oh, he's a cop. I can't believe he would do this. Do what? Like, fucking, what are you talking about? Like, what the fuck are you saying? This doesn't make sense.
Street from like a prison, and when he had dropped off my wallet, he was like, "Oh, I was stationed here once," or something. He said something like that, and then that's when I found out that he used to be a law enforcement officer
for human trafficking department.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah, he
takes one to know one, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Like, how? Like, am I wrong? I mean, Jesus Christ, Ethan. Like, you're such a bro. Like, Jesus Christ, bro. Like, what the fuck? Are you kidding me, dude? Holy shit. I don't like Fresh or Fit. I think they're both shitty people. But like, are you like how? What are you doing right now? This is fucking embarrassing.
Yeah, that's how he called them. He knew where they were.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, this took an unexpected dark turn.
Not really, but okay.
You know, I basically when I spoke to Sam, also Sam, she's amazing. She's very sweet.
Wait, so who's Sam?
You're Sam.
Oh my God, what is wrong? Wait, hold on. I need a minute to recover. Give me a minute,
Start over
please.
if you need to.
I thought she was talking about her friend.
You know what I want?
I was confused. I thought she was talking about the other friend there. She kept referring to Sam, and I don't know why my brain. Sam, I know who you are. I appreciate everything you do. I know your name. I need a minute to recover, guys.
Man, it is Wednesday.
It is Wednesday.
It is Wednesday, my dudes. That's true. Oh, are you really the apology podium, Dan? Shredder's opposed. All right, give me 1 sec. I just need to make a quick apology if you don't mind hanging on for a sec.
Okay.
Sam, you are loved. You are appreciated. You are seen. I'm well aware of your name. Congratulations on the weight loss, by the way. I'm really proud of you.
Thank you.
I'm jealous, actually. You're talented, funny. Your name is Sam.
It is.
I know exactly who you are. I was confused. I thought maybe she was talking about her friend Sam, and that maybe her friend's name was Sam.
It was me.
I was trying to connect the dots. It was actually Sam here on the crew. So I apologize, and it'll never happen again. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Great. Keep this closer. Okay. I'm sure we'll need that again soon.
You know what?
Thank you, Dan. So, well, I'm not surprised, but I'm not surprised by your story, as horrific as it is. But
Yeah,
wow,
no,
what a piece of shit.
Yeah, I had told Sam, because the way that it
he's
happened was that,
definitely
again,
a
I was
piece of
watching
shit,
the
yeah.
videos, like, it was crazy because the day of the episode I was on, it was your first, like, episode talking about Fresh and Fit, and I was like, there's no way. I was like, there's no way that my favorite podcast is talking about the podcast I'm about to be on, right?
That makes sense. I remember before, I was like, how do you not know who Fresh and Fit Easton talks about it? Okay, I guess the day they were on the podcast, that's when that makes more sense now. Okay, cool.
Yeah. And then from then on, I've just been like, I watch the videos every day, but I would like watch the highlights of Fresh and Fit, and you would ask questions, and I would scream at my screen like, I know the answer, and I just got fed up, and I just DM'd everyone, and Sam got back to me, and yeah, I needed to speak out about this because I think you're the best podcast to speak out about it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well,
thanks.
Probably not, because like there's just, I mean, like a lot of people would have listened to that. Ethan, I don't think a lot of people would have made it rape, but Ethan did a great job at misinforming everybody. So good for you, Ethan. I appreciate that so much.
For sharing that story. I actually think it's a really valuable and a really good story, and I think it's brave of you to share it.
Why? I mean, it's a really good story to have a conversation about, like, the way that you should interact with women to make them more comfortable saying no. Like, absolutely. But like, it's not like a really great story in the sense like that he's a fucking sexual predator. We've learned that he's like a creep, a weirdo, and he's shitty. Like, that's what we've learned, which things that we kind of already knew, considering his entire podcast is called "I'm a Creep That's Weird and Shitty." So it's not even like this came out of fucking left field.
I'm sorry you went through that. Really scary and kind of horrific.
Not really.
It's times as a man you don't really understand sometimes how hard. What was that, Zach? Did you say something?
No.
What? You took off your headphones and went bleh.
Sam was asking me something. So
Oh, okay. You responded really loud or something.
But apologies.
That's totally fine. You want the podium or no? Not podium worthy.
I'll let it slide.
I think it's really brave, and it's a reminder that
Really brave.
a simple going out as a woman can become really scary, and
Come on. Okay.
it's not something that men generally think about.
Well,
It's not. I mean, maybe some do, but it's easy to forget just how weird it can be out there as a woman, as a young one.
society is becoming very interesting here. We're going into a very interesting pathway, guys. Where we're going in an interesting direction. That's all I could say. Okay. Incredible. I don't know. Like, what's happening?
Man. And well,
I feel bad for the younger generation. This is the person Ethan's the person that's creating the social rules for you guys. He's the one creating like the social rules here. I feel really bad because like you guys are gonna be so fucking. You guys are gonna be the ones that are traumatized. You're not gonna know how to fucking interact anymore because everything's fucking sexual assault, according to Ethan. Like, I feel fucking terrible for all of you. This is fucking horrible. This is fucking crazy, dude. Holy shit. Okay.
I guess stay safe. What's your advice? I mean, how do you avoid these kinds of situations?
Oh, well, don't hang out with people that you don't want to hang out with, that you're not interested in. Like, what are you talking about? Like, she literally showed interest. How do you avoid that? Don't show interest. Like, I don't, like, what are you talking about? Like, it's, like, it's not like there was no, like, scenario where he could have been like, I don't want to, or she could have been like, I don't want to be with this guy. And he's like, no, I'm going to rape you. I just lost again. Holy fuck. That didn't exist. I don't know what you're talking about. How can you avoid it? Like, what are you saying? What are you talking about? It's just incredible. I don't understand it. It's fucking nuts, bro. It's nuts.
I mean, you never know. It could be, you never know, you know, it's hard to live your life and.
Yeah, no, I feel like because a lot of people
like this isn't a scenario where a girl goes back home with like a guy that this is usually how it happens. A guy that like, oh, she kind of likes this guy. He's kind of handsome. He's at the club. And then he like does something that she doesn't like and like rapes her. This is not what happened. Like at all. I don't know how else to say it. Like, how do we talk? How else do we say this? It's not what this is at all.
That I spoke to about the story, they told me, they're like, well, if you knew how he was like on the podcast, then like, why would you go on it? Or like, why would you hang out with him one-on-one? The thing is, like,
you said why you would hang out him one-on-one because you wanted to like argue with him. You said that. Like, what are you talking about? What are you saying? Those are the words you told us. You're like, I wanted to argue with him. And that's fine. But like, what are you talking about? Like, I think it was really shitty. That situation sucks. Like, he obviously like misread cues, but he didn't rape you. And when you said "don't fuck me," he's like, ugh. He became a shitty person. But what are we talking about here? What the fuck?
So, like, things are just so unexpected, and like the best thing you can do. I'm just glad that I made it out safe. So like,
yeah,
I'm a very big believer in God. So like, I think praying. I mean, like, not everyone's like religious, but like that's what I do. But I think it's really good to like speak out, of course, to like bring. That's why I wanted to bring awareness to it. So like people know that like you can share the story and like you're not like, you know, you're heard. Like people hear you. So
look, it doesn't matter. You didn't deserve for all that to happen. And to be honest, like you said, he could have ended up being like a sweet guy. Like I guess you never know in a way, but
yeah,
I guess sometimes a spade is a spade. Or
well, you knew that he was a shitty guy. You even said that, and you said that's why. Like you knew he was a shitty guy before you got his number, before you got your number. Which yeah, like they made her give him the number. That was like shitty as well. But you knew that he was a shitty guy there because you're like, oh, I thought maybe he would be sweet like the other guy, and he wasn't. And it's like, okay, you've identified that. This is just so fucking insane, dude. It's just crazy.
Yeah, I mean, he might just be doing method acting. I don't know, but at least he's
deep method acting.
Yeah. But thank you guys so much for letting me share.
Let us know if I don't know what's going to be, if there's going to be blowback from this, but let us know if he starts trying.
Probably blowback for you. I mean, I don't understand. Holy shit, this is crazy.
Trying to fuck with you, okay? You stay in touch with us, all right? Thanks for sharing your story.
Thank you so much. Peace and love always, too.
It's his fault. It's not your fault. You're great. You're smart. Go have a great...
and a very good storyteller, I must say.
Great storyteller. Yeah.
Thank you.
Very, very great. And go out there and find yourself.
Is that like a that's not really usually a compliment necessarily. Not in this case. Like not for nothing. I'm just like that's like saying, hey, you're a really good debater. That's not really a compliment because when you're telling somebody that they're good at debating, you're not saying that they're necessarily like know what they're talking about. You're just good at debating. You're a good storyteller. Like this wasn't supposed to be like a story. It's supposed to be like an experience. And if there was this massive amount of trauma, like I don't know, this is just fucking crazy.
A man who, well,
some coconuts in Barbados.
Yeah, find yourself some coconuts in Barbados. Exactly. I couldn't have said it better myself.
I wish I could get this.
All right. I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Peace and love. Peace and love.
Peace and love.
This is a serious message.
What's the message, Ethan?
I didn't know that story was going to get so intense. But these red pill guys are dangerous. They're not. These guys are dangerous. Like, I thought Fresh and Fit, I was like, compared to Cobra, the human trafficker, these guys seem like, you know,
just goofy, harmless.
Like Barney the dinosaur or something.
Yeah.
But no, they're actually dangerous too. I mean, how do you live? I don't understand the philosophy. Like, it's so self-defeating. The man is 35 years old. He has never been in a relationship.
Okay.
I mean, that's just sad. It's just sad.
I think, you know, a lot of guys like him get stuck in sort of this self-perpetuating cycle where, you know, they become more and more bitter because they have no success with women. And rather than examine that in an honest way, they just get mad and, you know, concoct these elaborate narratives of the way the world works and how women really are and everything to sort of shield their own egos from the fact that they're
shitty.
Yeah, I mean, that's really his
Undateable.
own fault. I mean, it's his own shortcomings. Like you said, I mean, I'm not saying the guy is, because I think once we were like, oh, he's a decent looking guy, and everybody's like, no, he's fucking disgusting. But, you know,
I
like you
think
said, he's tall.
He's tall. He's super
He can be
in
well
shape.
spoken.
Apparently, he has money.
Yeah.
So, like, in his world, he's like, that's all you need. I have everything. Did the question, but why women still don't want me? It's because you're fucking suck, bro.
Right.
You suck. You suck that bad that you have all those things and women still don't want you. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
That you're. I mean, I don't want. It sounded.
Well, it's not just that. It's their expectation of a woman is to be somebody who's like completely serving and allows them to like do whatever they want, like fuck whoever they want. Like that's what it is. They have no respect. That's what the problem is. Like they could very easily get a woman if they would be respectful of women, but that's their problem, you know?
To me, like he assaulted her.
Yeah.
You're a fucking idiot, though, Ethan. You're a moron. You're just so dumb. Oh, to me, he assaulted her. Shut the fuck up, Ethan. Shut your stupid fucking mouth. To me, he assaulted her. Thank you, Ethan. You fucking abysmal moron. Holy shit. He didn't assault her. Like, he put her in an uncomfortable situation, yeah, but, like, he didn't assault her. She wasn't raped. She was like, I don't want to fuck you, and he's like, ugh, fine. How is that rape? How did you get fucking raped if he's like, ugh, yeah, I don't want to fuck you. Oh, fine. He's a baby, but he raped her? What the fuck's the matter with you? Are you, like, mentally fucking deficient? Like, what is wrong with you? Like, have you ever, like, talked to a sexual assault survivor? Because you're insulting them right now. By calling that sexual assault. You're insulting them. Like, you're assaulting survivors of, like, sexual, like, abuse right now. This is incredible. This is fucking insane. Like, this is fucking... It's just fucking insane. I don't understand it. And even she's like, I don't think it was assault. And he's like, no, to me. What does that matter? Who cares? Who are you? To, like, be like, today it's this. You're a fucking loser. I'm not trying to be a fuck... I mean, I am being a dickhead. You're a fucking loser. Who the fuck cares what you think? You're wrong. You're dumb. Like, the only times you talk about sexual assault are when it is like something when it comes to like the mainstream fucking media. Oh, James Charles? Okay. Oh, Fresh and Fit? Okay. What about everything else? You don't give a fuck. Call Me Carson? Okay. You don't give a fuck outside of anything that like you can use for fucking clout. And you're like, to me, this is rape. In what fucking fantasy world do you live in, Ethan? In what fantasy world have you ever sat down and listened to the horrific story of somebody explaining to you how they were fucking violently raped? Is this something that's like you engage in, or do you go on like you hear stuff from like Reddit that's like, oh, this is rape. I was groomed. He was 19 and I was 17. Oh, I was a 19-year-old girl and he was an older man, but I'm basically a child. If this was 2 years ago, it would have been really inappropriate. Yeah, no kidding. Keemstar's a fucking predator. I don't even like Keemstar. Keemstar's a fucking predator because he's dating a young girl. Shut the fuck up. You're assassinating the conversation. You're assassinating the conversation about fucking like nuanced sexual assault culture. Nobody's gonna tune in and listen to fucking sexual. No, if you're setting the bar that this is like rape, if this is some aspect of like fucking rape, nobody's going to listen anymore. Nobody cares. You're a fucking idiot. Nobody is gonna be like, oh yeah, you're jerking off dumb fucks that don't, like dumb fucking kids that don't understand what anything is, into thinking that their stupid fucking feelings on any of these things that they've never experienced are valid. That's all you're doing. You're not doing anything positive. It's fucking crazy, dude. It's fucking nuts. It really is fucking nuts to me. Like, what is the matter with you? This is ridiculous. You're an idiot. You're a fucking idiot. Seriously. You're a fucking moron.
Unquestionably.
Basically, that's what it sounded like to me.
Yeah, this is the first time we've heard this story about him, but I'm going to bet right now it's not going to be the last, too. You know?
Yeah.
Story of what? Like, what's the story? Explain it to me. What are you talking about?
Sure, there's a good chance if that's kind of, and the way that, and these guys, man, I mean, this is a 19-year-old girl. What are you guys doing? Taking them out and separating them and getting them drunk and you're not drinking? I mean, guys, what the fuck are you doing? My God. Yeah, so I don't know. These Red Pill guys they're not just harmlessly talking about dating advice. These guys are fucking dangerous, actually. Fresh and Fit, the human trafficker. I don't know what Rollo Tony Browntown's up to, but
yeah, we don't know enough about Rollo Tony.
I'm not going to accuse him of anything. But apparently, he's a family man. He's got daughters and shit. So shout out Rollo Tony. What are you afraid of, Ian?
I am in better shape than you are, Ethan.
Oh yeah. Better to human traffic you. Ugh. He's like, bro, you're so weak. You probably couldn't even restrain a girl against her will.
But he literally didn't do that. What are you talking about? In the situation, the second she said, "I don't want to fuck you," he stopped. Like he completely stopped. What?
I was like, that's true, actually. In the red pill community, fitness is important in case you need to restrain a woman. That's why we like to be fit. I was like, okay. Yeah, that's actually... I did not expect that twist, but that is disturbing, man. Holy shit, what a fucking loser and dangerous. I mean, she kept saying that Fresh was a nice guy, and he may well be, but he participated in that whole scheme to separate them and not give them ride home. Why are you trying so hard to have sex?
Why are you... Okay, weird. What are you talking about, Ethan? Like, they were, like, dating. He found her, like, Fresh found that girl on a sugar baby website. They were dating. Why do you think it was this methodical process? They didn't do anything wrong. So, like, what the fuck are we talking about here? This is crazy.
There's got to be more to life than debasing yourself to trying to trick a 19-year-old that's sleeping with you. What? There's got to be, like, more honorable ways of getting sex, too. Like, go meet someone that actually likes you, and then you can have an arrangement with someone mutual. You don't have to trick people into having sex with you. Like, I mean, what the fuck, dude?
Getting somebody alone isn't a trick to have sex with them. It's are they supposed to have sex in front of each other? Why did she go back to the place with him? Like, that would indicate to him that she wanted to have sex, but she wanted to just go with him to, like, troll him more, and that's fine. But, like, what the fuck are you on about? Like, what are you talking about?
Daniel says, I'm 36. I've never had a girlfriend. I'm not red-pilled. Just really unlucky. Don't tar us. Shout out, Daniel. There's 36-year-old virgin.
Shout out to Dan.
We stand you. We support you.
You'll find the one. Don't worry about it.
Why don't you reach out to us? I'm curious. I want to talk to you. 36-year-old, never had a girlfriend. That's interesting to me, Daniel. Why don't you reach out? Listen, I'm not saying you're a creep. I'm saying he's 30.
Well, he must be a rapist, right? Because, you know, it's Fresh and Fit is the same way, right? So that's
5. The thing is, he's never had a girlfriend. His whole thing is about he's this alpha chick magnet. So yeah, I doubt that's your whole persona. It's ironic coming from him.
He probably rationalizes it in his mind that it's like, oh, well, you know, I don't need a girlfriend. I just sleep around, and, you know, I've got lots of women on call. I don't need a girlfriend.
I have relationships with women.
Yeah.
Jordan said, when the caller was describing her situation, I almost had a panic attack because I've been in similar situations many times, not all men, but some. Yeah, it's scary. It's a rude awakening that's not easy being a woman.
I'm not gonna be able to get this.
It can be scary. I'm sure most women have, or many women have, very similar stories. People are saying Daniel for the new Bachelor.
Probably they have similar stories, because that's something that situation does happen, but that doesn't make it sexual assault. Okay.
Let's go. Let's go.
Let's go.
Everyone's praying for you, Daniel. We got the whole chat.
Let's go.
We're praying, baby. Get in there. Come on. Daniel. 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 Come on, everybody. Daniel. 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 Daniel.
Daniel.
Stop.
You're okay, Dan.
Yeah.
Hey, Dan, that's not bad, huh?
I wonder if people are going to talk about this.
Yep.
It's pretty,
probably are.
It's a lot. I wonder if he's definitely not going to be happy about that. I'm afraid.
Don't you love that the people are going to talk about this? They're going to be like, yeah, Ethan is doing it again, guys. He's being a fucking, like, he's calling everybody like he got it wrong again. He got it wrong again, guys. We did it. We got it wrong again. That's going to be the conversation. I just want you to be aware of that, Ethan, because, you know, that's what's going to happen here. Just letting you know.
We're going to try to fuck with that girl, so I hope she stay in touch with her, Sam. So I don't want them to fuck with her. You got to make sure that she's okay. My throat is so fucked up.
I can't believe in the same week, Ethan has managed to have a really incorrect conversation about sexual assault culture and reinforce, like, racial ignorance with San. Like, you have a really impressive week, Ethan. Like, holy fuck. Like, holy shit. You're doing a great thing.
I gotta sign off now. I gotta stop doing that. It's so hard to do the show. Sometimes it fucks up my flow too. Like, I'm trying to finish a thought and have a conversation, and I can't stop doing it. It's just, ugh, God. I rarely have tics that are this
Is this
debilitating
this, or is this
or painful.
what's happening now? I'm just gonna fast forward it to being.
But I'll be alright. Well, that was fucking interesting. Okay, well there you go. That's the show today. Thank you to our caller.
What triggers your tics? Like being unintelligent? Like I don't understand. What is it? I don't understand. Why are your tics so bad? I don't know right now. Like, what's your trigger? Like for me, it's like stress. I guess are you stressed about hearing a story that wasn't sexual assault and like doing mental gymnastics to turn it into one? Is that what you're saying?
Thank you to our watchers. Today is Wednesday, which means tomorrow morning.
Yeah, it is Wednesday, man.
It is Wednesday. Tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. we are going live. It's the Leftovers podcast.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
Also 10 a.m. at the same time. Teddy Fresh new collection is dropping. Hot.
And then Friday, TikTok lawyer.
Oh, let's go.
Let's go. Looking forward to that.
Ugh, waking up early is so tough, man.
Let's see what's cheaper here.
That will be okay. Alrighty.
And then we should say one more time for anybody that missed the discussion at the top of the show.
Right.
Saturday, AB's fight is going down. We're doing a watch party stream for members. It'll be a members only stream with the gang. We're gonna get some pizza. We're gonna get some drinks. We're gonna hang out. It'll be a loosey goosey kind of time, but we can all watch AB hopefully win his fight.
He's gonna destroy.
Wait, someone said they're live right now. Hold on. Addressing the drama.
Wait, what's that?
Someone said in the comments that they're live right now addressing what we just talked about.
Oh,
Let's
probably
see.
because you called
That'd be
him a
surprising to me.
rapist.
A little bit of boxing to get that, and then bam, then they're out the door. Which, I get it is what it is if y'all want to play that game. But my thing is, me and Fresh are really big on like retention and dealing with girls that you, how do I say that? They have a sense of genuine burning desire, bro. Because if you're just sitting here on this transactional type shit,
I'll have to check it later. I can't do
I
this.
heard a lot of people saying that they were talking, like, not about us, but we're just talking about random shit.
Maybe they have some other drama going on. Saw some people saying
so
for
they
the
weren't
watch stream, do you
talking
need to get anything else besides membership? Well, yeah, you would need to get a ticket to the stream.
I mean, you can watch us. We'll talk about it. If you don't care
the fight,
if you don't care about the fight, you can watch us talk about it. I don't know how interesting that'll be.
Right. But yeah, you will need to obtain your own ability to watch the fight. It's just a matter of watching along with not just us, but the chat will be there, and be watching with the whole crowd of H3 fans. It'll be fun.
I'm excited, man.
There
you go. What's that?
I want to see nothing but hype up for AB and Reddit and everything. I saw a lot of negative stuff when.
What is all hype? It's
Well, AB. Well, I mean, I saw a lot of people saying RIP AB and stuff, but I want people to say AB's gonna destroy.
I was anticipating that a little bit at the beginning, but the more that I've seen how seriously he's been taking it, and after speaking both to his coach and Ian's coach about how these things go, and they made a lot of really good points. And like, looks gonna be just because Hundar, looks like a muscly dude, that doesn't mean he's the better boxer. AB's got a really good shot.
And yeah, I mean, AB's diet regime is insane. So
I'm gonna call it right now. I say he knocks him out. AB's gonna knock him out.
Really?
Knockout. I'm calling it right now. I'll bet my money on it. He's gonna knock him the fuck out.
I 100%. At the beginning when the started cam, you're right. There's a lot of memes and stuff. AB has put in the work. We are fully in support of AB. He's going in there to kill. And there's a small chance that Hundar might die.
I hope that's
He's gonna fucking. Hunter's gonna lose some teeth.
I really wish that Hunter would talk more shit because then we could all let loose.
Yeah, exactly.
He's too nice.
Such a good guy.
It's kind of a classy event in that way. Like everyone's being really respectful and nice, which is kind of nice to be honest.
But shout out to him. May the best man win. I will say.
No, may AB win. Come on,
Which is AB? Yeah.
May the best man or AB win. No, we're all AB all the way. I'm super excited. We're rooting for you, AB. Go in there. Come on, Saturday. Yeah. Gonna be sick. We're gonna get drunk. We're gonna eat pizza. It sounds like the best day ever. We got a babysitter. Ela's coming. I'm fucking stoked.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's fucking go, dude.
You gonna get some kebab pizza, love?
Oh, fuck yeah, dude.
Oh, baby. Oh, let's
What time was it again?
3 p.m. PST. We're gonna start our stream, and that's when the event.
That's when the event begins as well.
Oh shit, it's gonna be like at
That's
1
bad
to
for
3
you.
a.m.
Let's go.
Oh, that's true. Well, if you end up passing out, it's all good. But
It's gonna be a long event, yeah.
Also, I've been made aware that Eurovision is that night too, so I'll be.
Oh,
that's a big deal over there for you guys, huh?
Yeah, like normal people like that shit, but I couldn't be bothered. I've seen it for like 18 years straight. But when I turned 18, I stopped. I couldn't be forced into it anymore.
Gotcha.
All right, I gotta sign off. So thank you all members. We'll see you on Saturday, but we'll see you on tomorrow before that.
Well.
Oh, Ela just responded. He sounds more like a chick repellent. I assume she's talking about
fit.
Fit.
For sure. Yeah.
I think she.
Okay, well, that was an abysmal take from Ethan. I didn't know what. Incredible. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and another special shout out to all my Patreon and Twitch subs. If you'd like to support this channel further than you already have by just watching the video alone, go down to the links below where you can sub on my Patreon, which will allow you to get your name on this beautiful black wall. Or you can go to the Twitch page and you can actually use a free Amazon Prime sub, if you have Amazon Prime, to subscribe. Thank you very much, guys. Take care.